Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome, everybody, to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. I am a 25-year bartender, not 25 years old, clearly. I've been doing this for a long time, and just recently have I decided that it is time to take a trip down the acid way. And so today we are going to be making one of my very favorite cocktails of all time. It's very simple. You're not going to be blown away by the technique, but we are going to see how, let's call them alternative acids. When we talk about mainstream acids, we're talking citric, we're talking malic. Today, we're going to be using tartaric and lactic acid to recreate these same chemicals that are made when we make things like wine, champagne, verjus. Means French for real juice. It's like don't worry about bear juice. We're not doing bear juice. So we're going to be using an acid solution that we have made, which is 94% water, 3% citric acid. That's not true. 94% water, 3% lactic acid, and 3% tartaric acid in order to make some of the flavors in this cocktail really pop. All right, that's what we're doing. We're making a cocktail today that is called the Bamboo. It was created in the 1800s in Japan. Got pretty big for a while. They were bottling it, sending it all over the place. It was a it was a phenomenon for a little bit, and then of course what happened? Prohibition. We lost a lot of great cocktails during that time. And then the Bamboo really never had a chance to come back because during the 1970s and 80s, there was evidence that vermouth was hated. People hated vermouth. And I really feel bad for vermouth. And honestly, give me a second. Poor vermouth. Anyway, this is a vermouth cocktail that has no liquor to speak of. It has no liquor base. The base is going to be some delicious sherry or Jerez, if you are Spanish and also an American snob. So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna make that. I'm gonna make it twice. So you guys will definitely get the recipe by the time this is over. We're gonna make it once with our champagne acid, that solution that we talked about earlier with the lactic and the tartaric. We're gonna make it once without it, and we're gonna see how different they taste. John wanted cocktails with rum. Sorry, listen, Bamboo, close we're gonna get today. So we're gonna get these guys out. These are 2 little cocktail spinners. Just real quick, if you do want a cocktail with rum, let me tell you, this cocktail will also accept rum. Just throw it in there. You'll be good. And Amy Nordstrom's here. Good to see Amy Nordstrom. Okay, let's break into it. This is my Jerez that I use, or my sherry that is from one of the most tiki stores in the whole gosh darn world, called Trader Joe's. Stuff is very easy, nice, and ready to go. All right, so let's throw this in here. The recipe is super easy on this one. All right, it's 1 to 1, and then it's just some dashes. All right, so make this as big or as little as you want. For a standard serving of this, it's gonna be 1.5 ounces of our sherry, Jerez. We're using, don't worry about that. We're using Amontillado today, and then we're gonna be using a dry vermouth, and it's just gonna be equal parts of both of those. So let's go ahead and just knock them out. Let's throw in 1 here. So this is 1.5 ounces of sherry. Right there. And put this back on. When you're finished with your sherry, what do you do with it? Drink the rest of the bottle. All right, that's the rules. That's how this works. Otherwise, refrigerate it and try and get done with it within like the week or so. And then vermouth. Now, We're talking about champagne acid. We're talking about lactic. We're talking about tartaric. Where are we then going to be getting all of those flavors if we weren't going to be using our champagne acid solution? It's right in here. Inside of vermouth, vermouth is just a fortified wine. When you make wine, you are going to throw some yeasts in with some grapes. Those grapes are going to chomp, 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 and they're going to fart, fart, fart out a little ethanol, but they're also in the process going to be creating a lactic acid, and they're going to be creating a tartaric acid. Nothing on the bar is where it should be, so that's why it's all knocking over. So this is what we are doing. We're gonna go ahead and put in 1.5 ounces of some dry verm. Nice and cold and ready to go. Because vermouth is a wine, it's in the wine family, and because sherry is in the wine family, it's very important that we refrigerate them after opening. Any kind of there's not enough ethanol in here to stop the process of oxidation, so you will start getting off flavors, or more than likely, you're just going to get less flavor from it. It's just going to start taking away the bright pops, and it's going to just make it sort of boring. The longer your vermouth sits around, the more boring it gets. And I do think that that's one of the reasons that vermouth got such a bad rap for a while. Most bars open up their vermouth, store it next to the vodka, because it's much easier to grab vodka and vermouth at the same time to make yourself a little martini. And then after like 2 weeks, the vermouth started tasting crappy. So people wanted less and less of it. That's not what we're doing here. We're storing it in the refrigerator, trying to keep it around for a little bit. We're using Regan's bitters today. Regan's bitters. Why would I call it Regan's bitters? These are Regan's bitters. These are Gaz Regan's. I don't know if you guys remember Gaz. Gaz is the guy that stirred the Negronis with his fingers so often that they actually made him a little spoon. I own it. It's somewhere. But a real character this guy is, and he made some really good bitters. So we're going to be putting in 3 dashes of this into both of them. We're trying to keep these the same. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Things are going great so far. Oh, Alice Cooper from Phoenix. We were talking in the pre-show about people that came from Phoenix. I do forget that Alice Cooper also came from Phoenix. So, so far our list includes the Meat Puppets, Jimmy Eat World, and the Gin Blossoms. Everything else, I have no idea. What next? Oh, ice. Oh, let's acidify one of these. So, I have been consulting with my big book of all cocktail problems. It's called Liquid Intelligence. It's by a guy named Dave Arnold, ran Booker and Dax. Now has one of my very favorite bars that I've ever been to called Bar Contra in New York. He is a real weirdo, an absolute psychopath, as it comes down to it. One of these dudes that thinks a lot. Good for him. Anyway, he's a cocktail genius, and he's one of my very favorite bartenders of all time. I've been consulting with him, and he is saying that putting in 3/4 of an ounce of the lactic acid, tartaric acid solution is too much. This is too much. I'm doing too much. So we're going to go ahead and put in a bar spoon of it. So let's put a bar spoon in it. The good news, we got a good news, bad news situation here. Good news is, we'll definitely be able to tell the difference between the two of them, because now one of them is very milky and one of them is very clear. That's the good news. The bad news is that now one of them is milky and one of them is clear. It's the same thing. Good news and bad news. Two things can be true, I've learned. Let's go ahead and fill these up. We want to get enough ice in here. Some of this ice is poking out of the top. If you're only putting enough ice in your cocktails, thinking that you're saving yourself a little dilution, then you are going to be in some issues. You want as much ice as you can possibly get in there. That way, the ice is helping the other ice not melt. Now let's see. Can I get this done? Let's see if I can get this right here. See if I can do a double spin. Nope. My old hands don't work anymore. Nope, okay. We're just gonna double spin it. Here we go. So we're just gonna give these a little double spin. There we go. There we go. Nice little double spin. Just like everything else, we're looking for about 20% dilution, maybe a little less on this one since there isn't any hard alcohol in here. It's just the two different wines that we have. Let me throw it in here. And there we go. Those are the difference. Smell exactly the same. That's the fun part about this tartaric and lactic acid. It's really the fun part about using any of the acids that are just powders. It does not change the smell of the drink. How do you measure dilution? John Molesworth asks. Let me tell you, John, a wing and a prayer. It's really a wing and a prayer. It's I don't want to get too scientific on you, John. It's a feeling. It's a scientific feeling. So it's a feeling. We're just hoping. We're really hoping that we get it right around 20% dilution. If we do, then great. If we don't, we missed it a little bit. But after doing this for as many years as I have, once the gray starts coming into your beard, I feel like you can hit 20% almost every time. Let's pour this in. Now this is going to be our milkier one. And this is going to be our less milky one. I will say, I very much prefer the look of the one that does not have the lactic acid in it. Granulated cylinders and micropipettes. Or graduated cylinders, micropipettes, yeah. Yeah, 20% feels like 25. There you go. You guys know. You got the gray over your head? Honestly, John, you just hit 20%. So congratulations. However you do it, whatever you're doing, you've done it. Okay. All right. Now, let's get into it. So, what are we looking for in these two different cocktails? We're using a dry vermouth. A dry vermouth is made by vermouth, comes from the German word wormwood. It is a wine that has been fortified in its old ancestry by wormwood. You throw some extra flavoring in there. You throw a little bit of extra alcohol in there. You fortify it. You make it so that it's a little bit more stable than regular wine. And then it makes a very nice, bright cocktail ingredient. I love putting vermouth in all kinds of odd cocktails. You find vermouth in all kinds of weird places. You're making a zombie, throw a little wormwood in there, a little vermouth in there. You're going to have a great day. The problem with this cocktail that I'm trying to solve is how do we make that vermouth, which is usually a cocktail ingredient that is sort of meant to disappear. How do we make that sing? So my feeling on it, and I've said it before, I'm just trying to fill up some time. When we're making any kind of fermented grape, we're going to get lactic acid, we're going to get tartaric acid. So we are going to then bolster those up with our champagne acid. I'm going to start with the normal one. I didn't squeeze an orange in here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't just ignore that. Just pretend I did. Smell it. It smells like what I'm looking for. It does. Now that we are deep into the summer of acid, and I know what I'm looking for when I'm smelling tartaric acid, it smells very much like grape juice. It's got that same bite that like white grape juice has. White grape juice is used in a lot of things like to make cranberry juice concentrate or cranberry juice from concentrate. Things like ocean spray. You're gonna find an awful lot of white grapefruit juice in there. White grape juice, not grapefruit juice, different. Okay. This only looks like 18% dilution. Dang, I'm in some trouble. Okay, well, we only diluted it to what Chuck is saying is 18%, but that's fine. We got close. Looking for about 20%, so that's close. This cocktail is bright. It is light. It is grapey. For sure, it is grapey. The orange bitters in there is doing some work. The orange bitters is doing some work. So don't forget the orange bitters when you're making a bamboo. You're going to want the orange bitters in there. Now, let's see. Let's see the difference. Same smell. Interesting. Oh yeah, don't forget to order orange bitters. This is Savage Seas Tiki. This is my friend Nick. Okay, this is what I'm tasting in the two of them. This one is not coming in tart. Sorry, when I'm pointing at the same thing. This one is not coming in tart. The acid is certainly there, the tartaric and the lactic acid from the two different types of wine, but it's not coming in. You can taste exactly what these two ingredients are doing to this cocktail. This one with the acid, it gets real grapey. It's drier. It's drier for sure. This one has some sweetness to it. This one is sharp. It's sharp. Now, to be fair, I put in a full bar spoon in there. Would it be worth it to do this one and just put in a couple drops in of the champagne acid to see if we can't get? I think it is. I think it's worth an experiment. Let's find one that, I think there's one that just has water in it. Rum extract, vanilla extract, citrus bitters, firewater bitters. I have one that's just water, right? Saline, rose water, ACV, apple spice vinegar for the layman. I don't have water. Okay, we'll go by drops. We'll just go by drops. Okay, let's try it. Let's go by just a couple drops here. I just want to see. I know what this one tastes like. I know that those are big flavors. I'm gonna put in a little less. So let's bring in a little less cam real quick. Show you what I'm working with. Get this up here. See the top of my head. Float this down. This is a bar spoon, and this is less of this stuff. Let's just go ahead and sort of floop it around. Create those fun little explosions. Give that a stir. See what we did. Now, all we're trying to do is bring in or bring out the acid flavors that sometimes just go unnoticed in a cocktail that is very much, it's very much non-acid forward. Yeah, it's different. It's different. It is, I mean, obviously we're putting in flavors, it's different. Do I like it more is the issue. I think what I'm struggling with this champagne acid is like, why do I use it? Like how do we use it to make our cocktails pop more? We're using pretty nice. We're using Martini and Rossi, Martini Rossi dry vermouth. We're using the Santa Rosa. It's not the greatest of all the Jimenez or the Jerezes, but it does make it more interesting. But is interesting always the way to go? See, now I like this one more. Okay. I think also we have to worry about not only between 18 and 25% dilution, that is, of course, is a topic of discussion right now, but also how warm each of these cocktails is. When we stir them, we're sort of taking away the sharper edges of the ethanol. That's why we stir. That's why we add water to things, is to take away some of the edges of the alcohol. But as it warms back up, we do sort of start to see those edges sort of reappear. This one tastes like grape juice now. This one tastes very much like it is a white grapefruit juice. I made a drink last night with it. I took out all the citric acid. We did, it was sugar, it was gin, and it was just the champagne acid, and I thought it was delicious. So then my thought today was, what if we add the champagne into a cocktail that doesn't have citric or malic? And now I'm a little confused about what we're doing here. It's me drinking. It's basically what we're doing. There's some questions about the new Savage Seas reservations are going to go up like right around July 20th. So be prepared. Dang. Okay. The champagne acid is basically just drying the cocktail out. It's making it certainly less sweet. It's making it certainly less sweet, but is it making it better? I don't know. Okay, let's try. I want to try the one from last night. So I'm just gonna knock this out real quick. We're gonna make it nice and small. Okay. We used a lot of the champagne. I used a lot of the champagne acid in here last night. God, do I have enough rum? How much rum do I have? This is the rum I have right now. Let's go ahead and throw in. Should we do rum? Should we do rum or gin? Let's do rum. Let's see. Do I have 1.5 ounces? I do not. I have 1 ounce. Okay, that's fine. That'll be fine to make a drink. So 1 ounce there. So if we're doing this by proportionality, so if we're gonna make a drier version of a daiquiri, then we're probably gonna go a little bit over 1/4 ounce of simple syrup, and we're probably gonna go 1/2 ounce of the champagne, but we're gonna start with 1/4 ounces on both of them. So I just have to understand why it works. So let's do 1/4 ounce simple right there. And let's do 1/4 ounce of our acid from champagne, or champagne acid. Give this a little stir, throw can't see what rum was used. The rum that we used there, Chuck, was the Panama rum from Trader Joe's. This is a bar that runs on what's known as a budget. We are running a bar on a budget. We make just enough to keep the bar alive, and thus, of course, I would love to tell you more about it. I would love to try all kinds of fun rums. Rum's expensive, so okay. Smells only like rum. See, that's excellent. Okay. I'm using champagne acid wrong when I'm putting it into the bamboo. I know that now. Because the main acid in this bamboo is already tartaric and lactic, adding more to it isn't making anything pop. It's hiding things. Whereas, this is gonna have to go to a full ounce, so. We're gonna put another 1/4 ounce of our stuff in here. So that's now 1 ounce of 1 ounce of Panamanian rum, which is a Spanish style rum, aged, etc., etc. We have that. Then we have a little bit of sugar because the Panamanian rum is sweet, so we don't need that much sugar. And then we put in half of the rum. We put in the champagne acid. So that's where we're at right now. See, that is really nice. It gives you that. Okay. I really thought we'd figure something out today. We have not figured anything out. Okay. Screw it. Let's move back into these ones real quick. We have this citric acid as well. We have the champagne in this one, but I do want to try. This is just 6% citric acid solution, 94% water, 6% citric acid by weight. I'm gonna put in just a little half of a bar spoon in here to see now. Is the change gonna come from using a third acid being put in there, or does that are we just doing overkill at this point? I'm gonna put on my hat because I have to look at myself and I have to my hair is gone. It's gone rogue. Okay. Nope. Okay. Nope. No. Citric acid in the bamboo is the wrong idea. It doesn't work. It takes you right out of the game. You think you're sipping on an all-day sipper, but it ends up being a real bummer, right? It's like bringing your friend that makes all those funny jokes and you bring him to the club, and then he just makes fun of everybody. That's what citric acid is doing in here. Oh, well, never mind. My wife thought my hair looked nice, so buy hat. You can get these hats at Savage Seas. They're great hats. Gosh darn it. I really thought that I would figure something out today. I haven't figured it out. I'm really, yeah, citric acid is a bully. Exactly. Citric acid is a bully. No doubt about it. Citric acid is a bully. Should we try it? I have ACV, which is apple cider vinegar right here, which is, of course, acetic acid. Let's just throw it in here. Eight drops. We might as well, right? It was, Amy, it was not just an excuse to put on the hat, but I will put on that hat at any point. It's a good hat. Yeah. We're going the wrong way. Okay. It's important. Let's wrap up what we've talked about. It's important to remember that the only acids on Earth that we would put into a cocktail are not just citric and malic. Those are the two big ones, obviously. Most cocktails have something like that in there. But then we do have to remember that, of course, there are a number of other acids that come from the process of making different liquors, especially if you are using grape for tartaric, or if you're using anything that is fermented, which is called normally a lactofermentation. You're going to get lactic acid. So when we very soon we're going to be throwing in some of the tepache that we've been making. We've been over brewing some tepache for, I think we're on day 7 now. So we will have to, we'll probably take that off tonight. we are lacto fermenting, so we're getting lactic acid. So in order to not over acidify anything, we have to take into account what the acid is doing, what each acid is doing in the cocktail. Ugh. It's frustrating. I also do want to say that as this one sits, you can start to see that it's dark up here, and then it does just get, the lactic acid just sits in the cocktail. I'm finding out real quick that I am not a fan of lactic acid. I don't like the way it looks. I think that the taste is great, but I don't like the way it looks, and that is really becoming... Yes, Moose, I'm right with you. I'm right there with you. Thank you. Experimenting yields more mistakes than home runs, but I did learn so much. Yes, it is. It's an... Thank you, John. It's an acid trap. Don't fall down the acid trap. I regularly put ascorbic acid in my tiki drinks. Some of you know it as Dole pineapple juice. Ascorbic acid, I do know this. I don't want to just say things just to say things, but ascorbic acid is vitamin C, and vitamin C is, it doesn't really have the same, people will assume that ascorbic acid and citric acid are the same thing, but that's not the case. Citric acid has a much more sour flavor to it than ascorbic acid. So I know this is, you know, Roger's a funny guy saying funny things. There's more ascorbic acid in a pineapple than there is, or ascorbic, whatever. There's more ascorbic acid in a pineapple than there is citric acid in a pineapple. There's not none, but there's less of the citric acid, which is why when we talk about adding different acids as juices to cocktails, we get into what Jason Asher describes as half sours and full sours. Citric acid makes it a full sour. So I think what we have to start dealing here is we have to start understanding that the champagne acid is going to be probably closer to a half sour than a full sour. Okay. I think what I did was I started with a very delicate drink. Is there magic acid in pineapple? Yes, always. Always magic acid in pineapple. That's why a pineapple starts eating you. Oh, malic acid. Magic acid is much better. Yes, in fact, Chuck, I don't want to just say that I know things, but there is one of the highest sources, one of the best sources for malic acid in the natural world outside of an apple is pineapple fronds, which is why, if you guys remember, we made a pineapple frond syrup that tasted very much like acid, very much like an apple. So honestly, I thought it was much better. In fact, malic acid for now will be called magic acid. That's what I like. Oh, Bonbon's here. I didn't even see, but Bonbon slipped right in. Bonbon winner, of course, of the 2025 Cush Tucky Derby. Moose winner of the 2026 Cush Tucky Derby. I didn't mention that before. Okay. Whew. That's what I got. We're coming back tomorrow. Oh, let me show you what we're doing tomorrow. We have some fun stuff. We are going to break out a pH meter. I have a pH meter. We're going to be pH metering some of these cocktails to see how well they work. I haven't calibrated it yet. I have to recalibrate. So we're going to recalibrate my pH meter. We're going to get into pHing cocktails to see if we can't figure out which pH works best for cocktails, and that's it. Let's see if I still like this one. No, I don't like it as much because the freaking lactic acid sinks to the bottom. Lactic acid. Who knew I'd get a new enemy? Lactic. Much better. Okay. Sean calibrates pH for a living. Well, Sean, if you get a phone call from me tomorrow, know that I've completely lost my mind and I'm unable to calibrate a pH meter. That's what I got. We didn't really learn much, but we got to hang out, and I think that's fun. We learned more about what not to do than what to do, and I think that that is sometimes the most important part of it. Let me just take you guys real quick to our disco. That is the sounds of Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks ending for today. Yes, sinking lactic acid sounds bad. It did. Bon, it is bad. When is your acid book coming out, Cush? I don't think you want that yet. We haven't even gotten into acidic, or we haven't even gotten into acid phosphate. We haven't gotten into anything. Okay, 1 second. This is very difficult while the music's going on, but heating the solution may increase the lactic acid solubility. I tried that yesterday. I heated it up and it didn't seem to do anything, but maybe, Keith, do you think I need to get it boiling? I didn't get it boiling. I got it to where it was like simmering. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try that tonight. I'm gonna try and add some lactic acid into some water. I wonder if what I'm doing is I'm going over the solubility of the acid because I'm also putting in the maybe longer agitation. Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna work on it. We're gonna get it. We have a month left. Remember, my whole seminar on acid will be a magnetic stir. Yes. Dang, I have to get a magnetic stir. Put it on the list. Here we go. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. Tonight we didn't solve anything, but we didn't break anything either. We didn't break anything yet either. So we're still running even, right? Okay, that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush, and I will see you guys again tomorrow for a Wednesday show where we are going to be breaking out the pH meter and we're going to be solving acid, and that is what I have for you. Thank you. So yes, disco and acid feel like we're, yes, a little bit. I forgot, pharmacist, Keith, our pharmacist in the house. You know, some very smart people in this little group. Until next time, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm Dr. Cush, and good night. Stick around for a word from Rocky.
Sometimes the best way to stay the exact same is to fail a lot. But once you stay the same, you have a little platform. And let me tell you about this platform. You stand on the platform, and from the platform, you can either build stairs or you can sink down into the quicksand. Does the metaphor work exactly? No, not even a little bit. Don't worry about it. If you are concerned that this is not going to work out, don't worry. Don't worry. Some of the greatest trees I've ever met took years and years to grow. Some of them overnight. I have a friend named Bamboo, and Bamboo, one night he was planted, and then the next night he was 500 feet tall. So there's two different ways to do a lot of things. There's more than one way to take the bark off of a tree, and that is sort of what we're doing now. One day, it's all gonna make sense. One day we will all walk around here with our little PhDs in acidology, and we'll all be better for it. So I noticed that Cush is in a corner crying right now. No big deal. No big deal. He'll eventually understand that he has always been able to put together a seminar in maybe 2 or 3 days, and this one might take 5 or 6 months. So no big deal. No big deal. I'm gonna help him. And until next time, thanks so much for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am, of course, Smokin' Joe. And what do we always say here? Hey, Jinga Jenga, put that acid down, buddy. Don't put that acid in your eye. Acid in your eye, that's the worst. You don't want that. And also, what else do we say? We're always like, bye-bye. So we're saying bye-bye at this time. And until next time, my favorite words, bye-bye. Bye-bye.